right, ladies and gentlemen, we had to take a quick break from the Mentawai madness to give you guys a real update and drop some knowledge on where you could and should be snowboarding right now. It is the end of May. We got June, July coming in hot, but we had some of the heaviest snowfall in history all around the US, and I want to share with you guys some insight from my travels over the years of where I believe it is the best places that you could go to continue the shred. We got 5 of my top favorite and potentially only recommendations of where you can and should snowboard this spring into the summer season, and we're only given 5 right now, and I have to start it off with the 5th one, which could potentially be number 1, but because it's not outside real snow, we're just throwing it on the top 5. The American Dream, aka Big Snow Resort in New Jersey / New York, however you want to look at it, but that place is unlike anything that you could ever experience anywhere in your entire life. You show up after driving through the streets of New York, you park in a parking garage, it's scalding hot out, and you have to force yourself to gear up. And when you walk inside, you're going through an actual public mall with everything that you could possibly think of inside of it, including a massive structure that is basically a sloping building going down into, it's a fridge, it's a freezer, and they have a terrain park. They have, like, when you get inside that place, really no words can even describe how amazing it is, because it's a consistent 32 degrees year round. They make a consistent amount of snow, so it's never dry. The conditions are maintained properly, and the features you can hit so quick that even if it's not the biggest terrain park, the progression there is insane. And straight up, if you're upset and your snowboard season's over and you're moaning and crying, you could get in your car and you could literally go live in that parking garage. Maybe don't say that I told you to live in the parking garage, but you could live in your vehicle around that area, figure out a way to humble yourself and live cheaply and snowboard every single day. The tickets are realistic. You can get a season pass. Maybe you should work there. Maybe you should quit your job and actually get a job there and start working for all the days that you ride and just become a member of this insane community over there that is very accepting and insanely progressive. So we will drop a montage of all of my clips from Big Snow over there at the end of this video. But for now, that's my number 5. Best place to go in the US. Big Snow, American Dream on the East Coast. And that leads us into number 4, somewhere that I've actually never been before in the summer seasons. That is Copper Mountain, Colorado. They have one of the dopest summer parks, but their mountain isn't open to the public. So you do need to book a session. They're about a week long, I believe, right around $1,500 from the research that I've seen. They do have an adult camp week, which I believe might even be like right now, the end of May. But for number 4, I have to put that just because they don't have an actual mountain that everybody can shred. It is a specific camp thing, and I've never been, so we don't actually have any footage myself from there. That's just kind of a quick segment if you guys are interested in it. Copper Mountain, Colorado. Woodward has some of the most progressive parks in the nation, and if you're there at any point in time, you will see some of the raddest pros throwing down in some of the most insane conditions. I don't know how much snow they got this year. I don't think it was the most, but they always manage to farm as much snow as they can and build the sickest setups over there. So that is number 4. Number 3, once again, we have never been here during the summer in peak performance, and that is Mammoth Mountain. I went there on tour one time with Scotty Lago, Kyle Mack, Tim Humphreys, Brandon Davis when we were cruising around the US, and I want to say that that is some of the best spring conditions that you can get. They make their parks insane. They are on a different level, and I would say that this beats out Copper just because it is open to the public and it's so massive. They have so much snow that if you have the Icon Pass, it's good all through the spring, and if you didn't get it, then you can get the Icon for next year, and that gives you access to ride spring conditions the whole prior year. So that's one of my best bets for West Coast if you're trying to actually rip around and get a lot of snow and get a lot of good training in. Mammoth Mountain is absolutely insane, and that's just going to dump us into number 2, which might be biased to me because I live here and I know it so well, and it's very similar to Mammoth in not only the amount of snow that they got this winter, but the amount of terrain that they have that could be shredded. Before we jump into like the actual terrain, I want to break down Squaw Valley and how every year they stay open until at least July 4th, and they have remarkable parks, full booters, like 50, 60 foot big kickers and greasy rails. This year, I actually was there a couple days ago, and it is all time. There are so many legends out there throwing down, and being able to snowboard and progress in the middle of the spring and into summer is top notch, and it's an actual dream come true. So that is like my favorite place, I guess, for all around mountain snowboarding. But there is another aspect of it which I have to break down. When you are riding spring conditions like we are this year, or anytime, anywhere, any glacier, any mountain, anywhere where there's snow, there's such an insane amount of melt underneath the snow and actual rivers, and then big rock crevasses and glaciers with openings that you can fall through. And I just want to 1,000,000% be the person who may be getting you stoked to look into this, but more than anything, keep you guys reminded that you have to have the proper gear out there. You want to be going out there with friends, with homies. You want to have all of the Abby stuff, doesn't matter the conditions. You want to have the beacon. You want to be super prepared, because you just never know what's going on out there. Bring a satellite phone, like bring everything that you can. Just take this as a huge notice that you need to do your research. I can't put all the things that you need to do in this video, but just know if you're out there shredding and you're by yourself, or you're in gnarly areas this spring or this summer, it's always variable, and you just got to be super on point. But Tahoe has so much snow. They always have so much snow. This year was historical, and if you are down to put the work in and put some boot packing in or go skinning, they have actually some of the most insane conditions and the most snowfall that I've ever seen right now currently, all throughout all of Donner Ranch and all of the Sugar Bowl Mountains and all of the ranges back there. And it's just, it literally goes on forever. And all I can say is just be super cautious when you're out there stoking. Look into it and make sure you get the conditions proper, because I've showed up at certain times when it just did not melt out and you were on the top of basically a glacier sliding down on pure ice. But Tahoe's not over. There's one more portion of Tahoe that we need to show some love to. And even though it's not a thing right now, maybe if we just harass them and show them love as well, and just really push it more than anything, is Woodward at Tahoe was and still is the sickest snowboarding summer event that I've ever been a part of. They used to have 7 weeks of madness, and we really had some serious melting, which is why they pushed us away from it, because by the time the last year of the summer camp happened, there was almost no snow, and it's super expensive to try to maintain. But I gotta drop some clips at the end of this video from some of the best times I've ever had in my life snowboarding at Woodward Tahoe, and we got to figure out a way to somehow get these guys stoked to start holding those summer camps again, because it was super affordable, it was super realistic. It was like an hour and a half, 2 hours from Sacramento in the Bay Area, and then they also have the Woodward Summer Camp indoors in the bunker, which has the gnarliest skate parks ever, the most fun rollerboards into foam pits. You can progress so much on and off the trampolines, and just, yeah, Woodward Tahoe, we got to get that going again. But that wraps us up into the #1 spot for summer snowboarding. I have a massive history here, and that is Mount Hood in Oregon. I spent from 2011 until like 2019 every single summer there, non-stop training as hard as I could to get myself to be at the level of snowboarding that I wanted to. And Mount Hood has a history of legitimately being the mecca of summer snowboarding. Any single pro that you've ever looked up has honed in so many of their tricks there. It is the absolute dirtbag mecca of the US. You can go there and live in any car, any vehicle, truck, tent, camper, and you can post up and find other people that are just as like-minded as you are. It is definitely a rugged, gnarly area, and there's almost nothing to really do outside of the little things that there is to do there. So it just turns into pure focus on getting better, and the cumulative energy of everybody that lives there and is all there for the same reason and all made the move from their hometown to their home resort to continue snowboarding is just, it's absolutely life-changing, and it changed my life for the best and for the better. And I've done so many videos on snowboarding at Mount Hood and how to snowboard year-round, and I've put out full parts from 2012, 13, 14, before I was even doing the vlog, when I was just trying to build like epic video parts and drop those every year. And I've done also videos from every single one of these mountains that you could think of: American Dream, Copper, Mammoth, Tahoe. If you guys want to check out any of those and you're interested in more content around that, or like really to see the ins and outs and in-depth like tutorials of how I do this stuff, that is all on my YouTube. You can search Casey-Willax any of those titles, and all that will pop up. But once again, we got to show some love to the company who sponsored this video and remind you guys that you can go get a sample pack with any order, and those orders that you make will dial you in with the hydration that you need to excel your life and to perform at the level that you want to perform at, to recover, and to just be a better all-around human. Whether you're a dad, whether you're a stoker, whether you're a mom, whether you're a trainer, a heavy lifter, it is essential for everybody to stay hydrated, and they made it as easy as possible. So thank you guys. We're obviously gonna wrap this up with full-on bangers from all of the places that I said here that I have footage of. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, drop a thumbs up, drop a subscribe, and we will see you in the next one for the dream. Whew.
absolutely love to see it. Wow.
my note.